Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Amuse Jester. My name is Junior. Luckily today we are going to be reviewing Mondo's 1/6 scale timed deluxe edition of Trapjaw. Luckily I say because I missed out on the first two offerings of this one. The first time it was offered as timed deluxe, I missed it for certain reasons, and then the second time when it was the classic filmation, I missed it because I messed up the time differentiation between the East Coast and the West Coast. Anyway, here it is. Very nice. Definitely. I'm running out of room to put these frames up because I don't know, they're such great artwork. I really want to frame this, and luckily I got this from eBay. I did not pay too much more than the original price, which the original price was $235, and I got it for $250. So with the additional shipping, because Mondo shipping is free, I ended up paying maybe $30 more than I would have if I had gotten it originally from Mondo. So really lucky. And luckily the person I bought it from, a store from eBay, got it secondhand, and the person who got it originally took care of the box good enough that I don't think there's any blemishes. I don't really care about the rest of the box. I'll show it to you anyway. The only thing that matters to me is the front, because I am interested in framing these artworks. So I'm glad this is intact. I had to inspect it really quickly, so it's not a real unboxing because I've already removed the figure, inspected them, making sure everything is clear. And the nice thing about that one is this is the toy photography. It's really nice. I'm almost tempted to show this side, but I never did on the others, and I'm not sure if the others are still intact on the toy side version. But I'm more in, because the photography is great, but this is what I really want to frame. So I'm still keeping this one for framing. So let me grab the figure really quick. So let me put Trapjaw out here in the background while we mess around with the accessories. So this is an earlier offering from Mondo. I believe this was right after He-Man or Battle Cat, I'm not sure, but this is before they changed the base to a simple oblong base, a little bit wider. So this is the old style Mondo, which still has the design of their company, but barely fits the figure, as you can see. With that kind of a stance, kind of shows off the issue with this base where it's barely on the figure. So this particular Timed Deluxe edition comes with extra accessories, unlike the regular. Here it comes with a normal hand to replace the mechanical hand that he's got. Luckily this particular edition, Trapjaw, is when they started changing the paint that they're using, so it's no longer the matte, easy to rub off paint. It probably still will, but looks nice. So nice paint application, some subtle changing on the skin texture, some battle damage parts over here, nice different washing on the gauntlet, and there's the hand close fisted. To remove this, it's just pops off really easily, much more easily than what I did with Teela. Very much more thicker peg. So unfortunately, because Teela is a female figure, obviously that's going to be thinner. This is more rubbery. Yeah, it's actually separate from this peg over here, so if you want to remove it, you can do so. Here are the two hands. It does the job, but you can see it does have a lot of very soft features. On the fingers, you can barely tell there's fingernails over there. The vein work on the hands are kind of subtle, soft. And the paint is there, but you know, kind of like basic. It's basic over here. And if you look at the figure, even if you look at the figure now, even though I don't know if it detracts the fact that it's basic, but it's so far away. I mean, like, who am I? I'm not gonna be looking at that hand with that fingernail. You know, I'm looking at the overall picture, and I think overall the picture works great. I got sidetracked, I'm sorry. So let's go ahead, go back to the accessory. This is his grappling hook. A bunch of wires over here and strings. I'm not gonna, let's do that later. Nice and sharp. So be careful that you don't snap this off. It does have paint application. That's not just regular red paint. I'm not sure if you're seeing that. Let me do a close-up on those small red spots. It's not just red. If you can see, there's an edge of gold in there. I just wanted to point that out because it's uniquely small, but it does. It's one of the things that just been like, wait, there's something wrong there. And then also you can see also some weathering effect going on. This is what I like about Mondo's weathering. It's very, very subtle. Like, look at this claw over here. That's a lot, right? I think that's way too much for something of this scale. The sides are better. We'll talk about that some more, but here you can see some weathering going on. Very, very subtle, very nice. Oh, we're compared to the weathering that they're doing here on the edge, which is more stronger, more chipped, more prevalent. You know, it's like it's just way too much, I think. So here's the claw. Now see, now this does a lot of very nice weathering, very right there at the very edge. You can almost see it, or you almost can't see it, but you know it's there. It's like a nagging thought in the back of your head, and that's really nice. Really nice subtle texturing on the paint application over here. Yeah, this is the kind of weathering that I like. It fits to scale with the scale of the figure. Here's the bow accessory. Again, nice weathering. Oh, so this is kind of interesting. So we're talking about weathering on the edge right here. See how it's much more pronounced on this side, while on this side it's there but less so pronounced. So that's what I mean. Like, which one do you think you guys appeal to your senses? I feel like this is more. This is just a little bit too much. I mean, you can see there's very small differences between the two, but this one looks more natural than that one. Here it's almost looking like a solid line of silver. Again, this one's a little bit too much. I think this one's just perfect for me. This one's good too. A little bit too much, and then some weathering and all that stuff. His fly swatter. This is really good texturing going in the paint application. A little bit of wash. Nice paint application on the green wire. Not just a solid green wire, but you know, it's got some dirt and grime going over it. This silver application, it's not just a solid silver. You can see like it's been worn out. Same thing with this part right here. The final one being the gun that he attaches to that mechanical hand. There it is. A little bit too much here. Better over here into the side. So, yeah, I mean, like this one. See how you see? I'm just pointing that out. You can be a little bit too heavy-handed with the washing and the damaged part of it to show it off. But sometimes it makes sense. But sometimes our minds just fill in what is appropriate there. I feel like this is much better accomplished here. And his final weapon is some sort of a club. Very, very nasty club. Maybe this is more of a mace than a club. But I thought mace still have that ball at the very end. Some speckling of silver going on. Again, you can kind of see glints of silver at the edge of those spikes. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing that reflected on the light. This really nice looking over here. Even here in the handle you can see, right? There's like speckling of silver. Yeah, this is really good too. So now we're on to the head portrait over here of Kronos before it becomes Trapjaw. My lighting is coming from above, so you're getting that shadowing that's covering the eyes. Still really nice. I don't think I'll display him with the head and the complete arm. So technically I could have gotten with the regular, and I would have gotten the regular if it had been available to me at a lower price. But you know, at this point, it was just an addition. You know, this is the best I could find, since it's a second reseller at this point coming from eBay. I can't be choosy, so I'm just glad I was able to get this one. And here's the final Trapjaw. Now debate of whether I should want to display him with this head or the one he's got on right now. And mainly the only big difference is the jaw. The jaw, as you can see, is sharp and more. You know what? I think I'm going to display him with this one. This one just has a more scarier look because of that sharpness of the edge of the jaw. And it's exactly the same expression. Will come after that later on. This one just looks meaner. So here's the two heads. This is the one that originally was on the body. As you can see, it's exactly the same face, exactly the same expression. All they had to change was this hinged jaw over here. Even the paint blemishes application is exactly the same. Where the paint, see 1 2 3 1 2 3, everything's exactly the same on this one except for the jaw. I feel like this one pulls off the scarier look. And with that, we'll take a look at the body. I noticed that the head sort of pops on pretty well. It's actually pretty soft. It might be a problem for you guys. It's okay with me. It's not loose or anything, but it's a lot easier to remove, that's for sure, than I expected. So the figure, we'll look at it kind of like full figure, and I'll rotate the base slowly so you guys can see for yourself the full figure as it is. The wash is nice throughout the body, the colors, different colors. The reason why I wasn't so sure I wanted to get this was, as you can see, the colors are colorful but somehow muted. And I still, one of the things I'm definitely noticing from the Mattel cartoon collection is the brightness of the colors and how much it really makes the figure pop. And you can see from the various characters of Masters of the Universe, even from Mondo, that they do sense the richness of the color palette that's been used in this universe, but they kind of tone it down to sort of fit the gritty, almost realistic look. Alright, so that's it. Full turnaround. We'll do ahead and a close-up turnaround and see. We've already looked at the head. Now we can look at the straps. The straps, this part right here looks sort of soft to me compared to this side. Of course, this side is the mechanical side, so it's got a lot of sharp edges, some interesting going on. Look at this one, just mostly detracts from my Because why is the finish of scratching kind of like that? There's nothing to indicate why that kind of scratching would occur in this mechanism. Like these, that makes sense. The edges, that makes sense, even though this one's too much of a blot. Unless somehow they're saying that the inner surface here rotates inside. Yeah, in his history. It's really nice work over here. It's like subtle, sharp, bright colors to draw your eye in and then move out again. Same thing with this one. It's just very subtle, but nice. Now I'm looking at this and I don't think there's any way you can really remove this harness. You probably can by removing both hands, or maybe this hand, because we know this can be detached, and removing the head. That way maybe it'll slip this way. Let me do that now on camera and see. Gotta be careful because this is not from Mondo, so it's no longer covered by their return warranty, but we do know that removes. Okay, so that's easy. We saw how easy to remove the head was. And is it just a slip up in a way? Oh, that's how you do it. Is that supposed to happen? I don't think that's supposed to happen, because I can see there's like glue marks over here. I think what was supposed to happen is like this slipped off like this. So I don't know. I don't really mind. This feels like it might be it. Yeah, I guess it is designed to just plug into that one. So that's good. So again, this is the new paint that they've been using, so it shouldn't rub on as much, but still be careful because you know how it is. You're rubbing it, so there's gonna be friction and the potential of rubbing your paint. But seems fairly easy and straightforward to put it back in again. So I'm cool with that. As you can see here, see it's already rubbing like that. So probably because the previous owner, because he felt like the ball connection seems like it's not completely in yet, so he was probably pushing it and twisting it, as I would probably do. But knowing that there's rubbing going on, just being careful now at this point. Here's the inside of it. See how this thing even has some coloring going on, even though once you plug this in you really won't see that as much. So let me move this up. Obviously you can only do that for that. Here's the belt. So the design of the belt was one of the things I wasn't too sure of, because it seemed like he was, see texturing, it seemed like if you look at this design, it seemed like he's like an older man, where the belt is pushed up way up close to the rib cage. I just didn't like it when I was looking at it, and I didn't like this design, kind of like a Japanese inspired design. So I wasn't too keen on this one, and I was kind of waiting. In terms of the belt, I don't think you can remove, but I'm not even gonna try to attempt to do that. Yeah, but this look has kind of grown on me. There's another version that was, I think it's Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, where the legs are more anatomically correct. There's no cybernetics on the legs, and I almost bought that because, like I said, I almost missed this one. But then because that's supposed to be mini comic accurate, but the more I looked at it, and then I looked at the old Masters cartoon, his legs were cybernetic. So even though that references and more accurate to the mini comic, I'm going up on the cartoon collection, not from the mini comic, and that's why I gravitated more towards this one. And then I waited and did not purchase the Big Bad Toy Store one, which I think is $250 at this point, and it's still available. But luckily I did not buy it because I finally got this one. Here's the leg, some leg design going on over here. It's really nice, right? So articulation wise, knowing about the paint rubbing on the neck, just being careful, side to side, a little bit of left to right. That's it for the up because of this lip over here. That's it for the down. So not a lot of movement on the head. And the arms, that's horizontal like that. Obviously the bicep will twist, be careful. Again, paint rubbing. I've already tested this, making sure this is okay. And the hands obviously goes in and out, and I'll look at the joint on this one to make sure where it goes up and down. So one of my most issues, I want this as close to the body as possible. There is, as you can see, a cut over there. I doubt you'll be able to get a lot from there. Okay, a little bit like that. The back, I felt it separate already, because remember, it's just a plug-in. And the more you plug this in, I can't plug it in right now because there's resistance in this one. I have to return it to the original position. The more you keep plugging it in and keep unplugging, the more this is gonna rub on his skin. And then rotation on the actual waist is very stiff. So for Trapjaw, there's really not a lot of movement on the body, waist. All your movement is going to come from here, and to the legs can go by that much and go back by that much. Double jointed on the knees, so this is the most articulate limb is the knee. And as far as this one, if you watch my Tila review, I showed you a comparison with the He-Man where the ankle is shaped like this, where the lower leg is shaped into the boot of the boot shape. So there's really not much, a lot of give or movement, unlike Tila, who's a ball joint. The same thing with Sorceress, unfortunately. So he won't have a tendency to topple over like Tila and Sorceress or the female figures. Unfortunately, because there's not a lot of movement for it to topple over, there's also not a lot of movement in terms of up and down on the ankle articulation. That's basically it. You can, I guess you can kind of force it if you want to. I'll show it off on the He-Man as I do my comparison, but there is at least a swivel on the ankle, so you can kind of spread his legs a little bit more, and he'll have both feet touching the ground properly. So that's it for my general review of Trapjaw. Was it worth the price? Of course it is. I bought it more than retail, even though it's only $30 more than retail. I'm glad I was able to get this. The more I decided, because now that I was looking secondhand market, I was debating again whether I wanted the Trapjaw Deluxe Timed Edition, which is this one, or the cartoon collection, or the cartoon filmation color version, which has a brighter pink, brighter blue, but it doesn't have, I believe it doesn't have this head, it doesn't have this arm, and a lot less accessories, like half of the accessories. So I debated between those two, and between this one and that one. And the more I looked at it, and I started to see, you know what, if I got the filmation one with the bright colors and everything, it's gonna stand out in the collection, because the rest of my collection has the Mondo design and the Mondo colors that they chose. So I had to get this one because the colors are there, but they're muted, which fits the entire line. So in terms of value, as you saw, articulation is very, very limited on this one. I think the design of it, the look of it, like subtle twists. Like if I could have just been able to move that just a little bit more like that, move that, so I don't know, twist it a little bit so there's a little bit, then it would have been a little bit more interesting. As it is right now, I think you can't really much pose it other than that, other than maybe move this up, move it like that. You can't even do a pose like this where he's looking off to the side. See how this one is already off? I wonder if I'm not pushing that in more. So let me get this off camera really quick. That is as much as I can. doesn't feel like there's a clicking or an improvement on me bringing it down, but I feel this is more secure than it was before. So if you really want to kind of mess around with the posing in this one, it's more like pose him like this and then do a 3/4 view. So this is almost like a statue. But I'm still happy I was able to get him, because I have a core group of characters I want to get from Mondo, and having missed this, and Mondo is not putting out the regular version of this particular color, I thought for sure I'd missed this. And since this guy was in the core group of characters I wanted to get, I was getting to that part of the collecting phase where I was thinking, well, if I can't get Trapjaw, what's the point? Why would I keep on getting more? And I was making that list shrink accordingly. But now that I finally got him back and I'm happy with how he looks, I'm thinking, well, if that's the case, then let's get on with it, because I think I still want Evelyn, Man-at-Arms, Sorceress, and I think that's pretty much it for me. I might get Merman on the secondary market if I can get him at a good price. I'm looking at one right now, but of the older version, but I'm not gonna go more than 170, 180 on that one. But definitely worth the value. How high of a value? Let's say what was I doing with my value? If the price was 10, the beginning value of the beginning set of value is 10. It's just goes from there, right? If the value is equal to the price that I paid for, price being 10, value being 10, right? So if the value is higher than the price, I would put this at a 12. The ones where I would say, man, I can't believe this is great, this is, you have to get it, those will be above 15 to 18. 20 would be like outstandingly awesome that you need to get for your collection. This is more of like a 12. Still definitely worth the price at 250, right? Not at the original 235. If I had gotten this for 235 at the original price, this probably would have been a 14. But as it is, because it's a higher price, it's gonna be just a 12 for me. But it's still definitely very, very nice to have this in my collection. I've removed him from the stands, and here comes He-Man. This is the extra body that Mondo sent for me, because the first one, because this one, no, this is the original one that Mondo sent to me, because it was broken at the waist, and I fixed it and glued it up. So he stands pretty good with He-Man. Just as a comparison from a different company, but just as evil, is Destro. You know what? Let me move He-Man out of the way, because we really need to know how high Destro stands with Trapjaw, right? So Destro probably stands eye to eye. Let me see, because I'm kind of cheating with Trapjaw with that little bit of downward turn. That is a good comparison. Destro is maybe just some smidge high, like this high, half of the ring. I don't know, you guys, it's up to you whether you think that's good. I think it's good because he lines up properly with the Masters of the Universe. But maybe you're thinking maybe Trapjaw should be bigger because of his cybernetics. Maybe, I don't know, it looks good to me. But yeah, this is 3 zeros G.I. Joe collectibles, 1/6 scale, and these guys are like 150 to 160. These are really, really good in my opinion in terms of value. Like this would be around 15, only because the price is so low. So anyway, that's my review for Mondo's 1/6 scale timed deluxe edition of Trapjaw. If you can find it, depends on what you're willing to pay for it. I wasn't willing to pay $300 for it. I was gonna wait for another release of Trapjaw, hopefully, because they have never done a regular release of this version. Okay, Whatever you guys are thinking, you're wrong. The cartoon collection or cartoon colored, that's not the regular edition. Usually a regular edition is exactly as this with less accessories. So the cartoon collection is not, because it's a different coloring. The mini comic is not, because it's a different design. And I can't remember what else edition that they came out. So they have not released a regular edition of this yet. So that's up to you guys. They have to release this as a regular edition. As far as I know, every deluxe edition they've released a regular edition so far as I know. So it's up to you guys to decide whether to wait or to jump in and buy this at 300. I don't think it's good for 300. At $300, I think it flips to the value being a 9 below the 10 of the price, so it's up to you guys. So I'm really happy I was able to get this from eBay, no less, and only at a $30 markup from the original retail price. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys again soon on my next review, which was probably going to be for a while because I have run out of things to review. Thank God I'm not spending any more money. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.